Backyard Gardening with Mr. Imhoff. Today, our lesson is going to be starting our seeds and getting them planted. So for that, we're going to need a few things from our kit. So we're going to need our small pots, we're going to need our bag of soil, and we're also going to need our seeds. So we have our tomato, pepper, and squash seeds. So let's get started on planting. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pot from our kit, and we're going to stick it down here in our soil, and we're going to try and get almost all the way filled with the soil, okay? So if you look, I've kind of got about almost to the full point. So I'm just going to come in, take my hand, and just kind of dump some more in there, see? And I've got it almost all the way to the top, you see? Alright, so now what we've got to do is we're going to start planting our plants, okay? So first, we're going to get our tomato plants, okay? Our tomato seeds. And what I like to do when I plant these is I like to put at least 3 per hole. So for these pots, we're going to only need 1 hole. So now we're going to take our seeds and we're going to get 3 of them out. So if you look, I have 3 seeds in my hand here. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to stick it just to about the fingertip down deep in there, okay? Into the soil. And then I'm going to take all 3 and I'm just going to kind of drop them in the top. And then I'm just going to cover them with some soil. And that's all you have to do. So let's get that done with our peppers and our squash. So here we've got some jalapeno peppers. Now your peppers are going to be very different than what I've got. Your peppers are actually going to be some bell peppers. So they're the sweeter, milder version. Alright, so now that we got our peppers, we're going to do the same thing with our pepper plant. I'll just take our finger and just kind of poke it down in there. And then we're just going to drop all 3 of our seeds right down in there, right in the center. And then we just cover it back up loosely with some dirt. And now our last one is going to be our squash. And we're going to do the same thing. Now with our squash, we're going to do only 2 seeds because of how big they are. We don't want it to overcrowd the pot when it starts growing. And if it does overgrow the pot, we can always thin it out. Okay, so I've got 2 seeds up here. Alright, so now we're going to take it and we're just going to poke our little hole right there. And then we're going to throw our seeds in. And then we're just going to cover it up with some dirt. And that's it. Alright guys, now that we've got our plants and our seeds started, we're just going to go on and give them a nice little mist of some water just to help them kind of start getting wet so that they can start to germinate. And that's all we've got to do. Now we just take them and you just set them out on your porch or on your deck and just make sure that we water them at least every couple of days, just to make sure that they stay good and they stay wet so that those plants can start taking root and can grow. Okay guys, so for this last part of the lesson, what we're going to do is we're going to go on in and we're going to write down all of the plants that we started. So we've got our tomatoes, we have our peppers, and we have our squash. Alright, and so the date that we planted these was going to be on 5/27. Alright, now your date planted is going to be different than mine. So just write down whatever day it is that you started planting. Alright, and then over here, for our germination time, we're just going to estimate. So we're going to go 10 to 14 days. Alright, and with our germination time, we just want to have kind of a guess on when we think it's going to pop up. Because once it actually does pop up, that's when you're going to write down on your tomato or your pepper or your squash plant page the date and that it popped up. Okay? Well, you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you all here next week. Take care.